This should be where Godspeed. It's all working.
Hey!
Yeah. So our hope and prayer is that we are now, because I'm driving.
We
So
are.
Robert and I both have the same tool. It's called Ecamm. We've been using it for months, and at least since I think I got my version of it July 1st. So we've been using this for quite a long time. We are now officially going to forevermore be on both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. So for those of you that don't love Mark Zuckerberg, Happy New Year, sir. You can just go to YouTube. It's kwtechtube.com. So get your sharpest crayon out. We're going to talk about all the things that you have access to that you might not be playing in at a high level. No judgment. We're just making sure that you have all the intel to start kicking ace and taking names as of midnight tonight. So first and foremost is the learning portal. KWCLMtraining.com. KWCLMtraining.com takes you to the learning portal. We're going to ask you to create your account. You're going to use your KW email to do that. So whatever your local email is, obviously for staff members, we have our KWCLM emails. If you have a KW email, that's what we're going to ask you to use. And that way we can also, not from a Big Brother standpoint, but we can just track where you're at. Most importantly, if you're a veteran agent, you can go back in and find a whole bunch of stuff. I think all of the forms are there now, Robert, correct?
Yes. The all of the forms and JV talking about those forms, and in addition, the forms themselves are downloadable for viewing. Please understand that the forms themselves that are on the learning portal are not the forms you use. They are forms for learning and for understanding and for your reference. The forms that you use are in DocuSign and .loop.
Sure. Okay. Perfect. But anyway, welcome in. It is December 31st. It is New Year's Eve. There are no people on the roads. I know that obviously Robert's in the Nottingham studio. I think he and the dogs might have done a walk up and down the street. I can see that Jason is in the gulag. He's in JV's Dover office. The managing broker's Dover office. Which can you show everybody behind you that the cart sign that she definitely didn't steal? And I truly mean that. I mean somebody on this call might have acquired it for her. We were cleaning it. We're going to return it to the course where we borrowed it from. Yeah, who knows? But anyway, so he's in JV's office. We're hanging out with you this morning. We want to talk about a whole bunch of things. First and foremost, as we did discuss, it's 90 days out from Thursday, March 31st. So by the time we get back here, boys, on Tuesday to announce our winner of the Bold 100, which we'll get to in a second, we are going to be into April conversations. The fearless James Shaw, who did take this morning off, he's going to be back at it on Monday morning. We'll be back at it on Tuesday morning. We are taking the New Year's holiday, thank you, Nathan, on Monday. So that being said, he did mention in the last few weeks, he's reminded ferociously that whatever your goal is for 2022, whatever the goal is for this next coming year, 15% of it should be pending by midnight. 15% of your 2022, should be pending by midnight. So by the first of the year, you should have 15% of that pending already. So if you don't, welcome. I think most of the country, most of the nation of realtors probably don't have 15% of their goal pending. Doesn't make it right, but there's no judgment. We're just reminding you of these things. And I say this all the time. I've told this story a bunch of times. I think I was walking into the building over a year ago. And the great Erin Prue was walking in with me, and I just simply asked her, because I'm a coach and an ass, I just said, hey, Prue, how far behind are you? And she's like, Tim. And I'm like, well, if you were tracking to hit your goal, you'd be moving your goal up, right? And most of us have advantageous goals that we are probably tracking behind, said with love, no judgment. So if you are currently behind and you don't have 15% of next year's goal pending tonight at midnight, that's okay. There's a myriad of opportunities to get your brain sharpened, or as the bold coach Rob Daniel would say, sharp. He just keeps screaming sharp. He screamed it yesterday about 15 times as he talked about FSBOs and expireds. He'll be back next Thursday and the Thursday after that, both on the 6th and the 13th, to do precursor classes for 1 hour at 10 o'clock. Information for that is in the morning news, which hits your mailbox at 7:14. Everything you need to know is in that email. Thank you, Zoe. So please stay tuned into that. Open that, and if nothing else, yes, thank you, Jason. Scroll down. We could put a Buick and a helicopter at the bottom, and no one would win because we're not scrolling down. And everyone's guilty of this. No judgment. Everyone's guilty of this. Just please scroll down. Every day, scroll through, scroll down. The store that has KWCLM gear is open until Sunday night, I believe. Yeah, Sunday night at midnight. That closes.
I ordered some stuff.
Yeah, Sunday night at midnight.
I got a new hoodie coming.
And we'll have that order in. That should probably be here by the end of the month because everything's running slow. So by the end of January, that'll be here. It'll be at the Market Center. The store is in there. We talked to you about the KWCLMtraining.com portal. Please go there for all your educational needs. And the purpose of that is there's an opportunity for everybody to have a digital key to get into that. And for our agents that are joining us as of today, tomorrow, and afterwards, when they jump in, it creates educational guardrails for people to go through and do this, do this, do this. It's not linear. You can jump around. It's an educational sandbox. At the same time, if you want to systematically go through and complete things, you can. Now, if you're doing your code of ethics, and I'll pick on myself, you'll notice when you did your code of ethics the other day, Timothy, you can move advantageously through that material. You had to have seat time of 2 hours and 45 minutes. So as I got to the final exam, 11 minutes in, I had to sit and wait. I had to run out the clock. It was like a college basketball game. I had to run out the clock. And you can, so being honest, if I were a rainmaker and had a team within the company and I was inviting my agents on my team, hey, you should jump into the portal that Robert created. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And they're like, yeah, I went in and I did some of the lessons. You can go in and complete, it can say that you visited a lesson. We can also see time on task. And as Gary has said since the dawn of time on task will beat talent every time. So please don't treat it as a Reader's Digest, right? Don't get lost in there. Like, we have work to do. We have humans to talk to. But if you're going into the learning portal, it's all bite-sized. It's never going to go away. There's new content getting added constantly. And if you're going in to go do a lesson, do the whole lesson. Do the whole lesson. There's so much stuff in there. As we said earlier, I think Robert added like 45 forms just a couple of weeks ago. To his point, it's not the stuff you're going to use for your contracts, but it's stuff that's going to help you review how to use them for your contracts. Absolutely. So the KWCLM
JV walks you through all of it too.
Yeah, the KWCLM training portal is a massive opportunity. And again, one other thing that our Market Center does that nobody else is doing. There might be a few other that are doing it, but not at the level that Robert's created it for you guys. So please do not hesitate getting in there and starting to kick around. You can't break it. And if there's something in there you can't seem to find, we're just going to ask you to look a little harder. And then, of course, raise your hand. The beauty of real estate is everybody's 18 plus. If you can't find it, raise your hand. Ask great questions. We'll get you the best answer we can. And if we can't find it, we'll make sure that it's getting built or submitted for your pleasure. Okay? So please understand that that's a huge tool for you. The other opportunities coming up in the near future, as we said, there's 2 classes coming up with Rob Daniel this coming Thursday. We did FSBOs and expired yesterday. This coming Thursday, I think he's going to do open houses. And then the Thursday after that, which is the 13th, we're not sure what it's going to be yet. We're sort of gauging the room and finding out from people what they want him to talk about. And then on the 20th, he starts bold. You can be in the room on the 20th. That is a sponsored day brought to you by Brad Kelly and Annie Mac Mortgage. And then after that, it's at a cost of $399, which is half the price, Jason. If you remember, being in the brick and mortar rooms is $799. Which there's 2 in-person classes going on that are starting in January. There's one in Colchester, Vermont, our friends up in Vermont at Adam Hergenrother's Market Center, and then up in Greater Portland, they're doing in-person. So if you desire in-person, we can get you that information. If you want to do it from the safety and the comfort and the privacy of your couch with your cat, you can do that too. All of the data, all of the content is the same. You'll have all the digital assets sent to you, and there are going to be different from when we first got into COVID. Remember we did the global bold, Jason?
Yeah, 2.0, yeah.
And I think there were 40,000 people in the room planet-wide. And the thing that was different about that is that it was multi-coaches, and it was awesome, and the content was getting delivered, but there was no accountability. There were no teams. And the burn of this class, as I said to you guys yesterday, Bold will make you question everything about real estate, and it's really going to help you decide whether you want to be doing this or not. The burn of this class is the accountability of the teams and the accountability of setting goals and telling the room what you're going to be doing for goals and doing the activities. If it's entertainment or education or infotainment, as Gary would call it, without the activities and execution, then there's really no opportunity for growth. Because you'll be like, yeah, I listened, sort of. I had my camera off a couple times. And they're going to be ardent about you keeping your camera on and staying attentive. And there'll be team leads. It'll be as real as possible, but digital. And I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty happy that I decided to go digital for our market center because I think we will have less interruptions than most. I think there might be some blips at some of the in-person classes, which they can probably hybrid right over to digital if they need to. I just didn't want to have any disruptions for you guys. That's going on. And to light that fire, what's going on at midnight tonight? You can start at midnight should you choose to. You probably shouldn't call anybody at 12:01. They're going to be kissing somebody or kissing their cat or their dog, or they're going to be passed out already. But in the morning, tomorrow morning, you have all day tomorrow up until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow night to have your 100 conversations. We're doing a bold 100 for the Market Center. It's not complicated. You need 100 people that you have had conversations with tomorrow. You're going to track all these conversations in a spreadsheet. Sean Cody's using numbers. You can join him if you want. I think that room's going to be pretty empty. I'm going to make fun of him for the rest of his life because he got all. I made fun of numbers. He's like, I use numbers. I'm like, of course you do, Cody. So Sean Cody's using numbers. The rest of us will use Excel or Google Drive. And then from there, I need you to just submit to me. And this is all. Guess where it is, boys? This is all in the news. There's a banner about this in the news with all the information brought to you by Zoe Kirkpatrick. So if you want to, you're going to do full legal name. Very important. And I think this is really important because if you start to use all this data to put into your command, Robert, and I have, I think a lot of people would spell it wrong if they didn't hear us pronounce it advantageously, Kirkpatrick, right? Like, I'm sure she's had her name misspelled. Aiden, my son Aiden, which is Adan Lindsay, gets Aden Lindsay all the time. And if you're going to go through the painstaking process of reaching out to 100 people tomorrow and have conversations, I want to make sure that I put Westcott with a T. I want to make sure that it's
a
Robert.
Capital W.
What's that? Yeah, I get a lowercase W. I'm losing my. I'm going to fix that in a second when you guys start talking.
I just saw that.
Yep. So judgy. So judgy. Yeah, but honestly, you're making my point because if you start printing labels from the data you have in your command, you'd get a lowercase W. Mm-hmm. Which makes you think in a moment, does Tim Lindsay think less of me? Maybe I do. I don't. You know I love you. So in the grand scheme of things, making sure you have full legal name, their cell phone number, their email, and their physical address or their mailing address. And then we need notes from the call. You do 100, your name goes in the bucket once. You do 200, your name goes in the bucket twice. We're going to put everybody's name in a list. So if Jason Westcott does 300 contacts, which cocaine's a hell of a drug. If you do 300 contacts tomorrow, well, that's a Rick James quote. It's a Rick James quote. If you do 300 contacts tomorrow, we would put your name on the list 3 times. Then we're going to enumerate all the names, and then we're going to do a number generator on Tuesday.
You can address your letters to Nathan Dickey at KWCLM.
I don't speak out of experience. It's just a Rick James quote. Everybody knows that. Dave Chappelle, Rick James. I didn't put my boots on your couch. You know, come on. Anyway, so if we pull your name first.
Of all the references, how is it you're quoting Rick James like people quote Monty Python? Holy crap.
Or we can do that too. Get the holy hand grenade. Anyway. So the first person to get their name pulled, which will be random, but you can increase your opportunity by doing more than 100 contacts if you do 202 names, right? Or 2 times in the bucket. The first person to get their name pulled has a choice of either $2,022, the balance of the $2,500 that Nathan's putting on the line out of his own personal money, not company dollar. Then we're going to have $478, the balance of the $2,500, or a Bold scholarship for Digital Bold coming January 20th, which is a $399 value. So those are your choices. It happens tomorrow. A lot of people aren't going to do it because it's January 1st. You're with your family. I appreciate that. We've always done something on January 1st. This is what we're doing this year, and we're inviting you to get your year started right by having 100 conversations. If you think about in the last year, I'm going to make some people uncomfortable. There are some of you that maybe in the last year have not had 100 conversations via the phone where the opportunity to bring up your business came up. Be honest with yourself. So what if you did that kind of heavy lifting on day one of the year? What could that do for your business? You guys can now talk amongst yourselves because I'm going to fix Jason's W so he knows that I love him. Yeah, stand by. I don't know if will this happen in real time?
Yeah, sure. Just don't move it.
Don't move it.
And when you hit enter,
yeah. Did it fix? It didn't fix. Not fixing. Nope. Won't do it.
Better. Of course it does it. I do it all the time.
It didn't do it. It's okay, though.
Kids these days.
Whatever.
So no need to overthink it. Do the Bold 100. Consider jumping into Bold on January 20th. Jump into that learning portal. A whole bunch
Hey,
of
did you
opportunities
see
coming up.
the new Facebook banner that's up for the new year?
I did. Well, I got a lot of flack because Robert just gave me crap because we were going to save this whole new show open and all the new graphics package for Tuesday. And then he called me a child on Christmas morning. Then I couldn't wait to open my gifts. So we went with it today.
Accurate.
We went with it, but we're having conversations about all the activities that they're going to do after midnight. So I figured it was apropos to start doing this now. And to Robert's point, it is a stretch. To Robert's point, the great Alana Babineau, timewithbabs.com, who always does our Facebook headers, created one. She's like, what do you want to do for January? I'm like, well, the focus is bold. So I said, give me a brick wall, give me bold in the middle, make it look like it's chalk, and then the rest of it's all graffiti, which she did. She also threw up her logo on the left. I think the KWCLM logo is up in the top right. The new Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes, ampersand mountains. You're welcome. And then in the bottom right, I jokingly said to her, I said, for 2022, we want a political poster that says Kirkpatrick Lindsay. Because I've decided I want to be vice president. I just want to go to funerals, right? Isn't the vice president, you just go to like heads of state funerals and stuff and meander about. I don't have to really do anything. Zoe gets to do all the heavy lifting. So we made her president. I'm running for vice president.
Oh. Yeah. My God, I just saw that because just so you know, everybody that's watching this and thinking, oh, I'll go take a look at it. When you see the banner in the Facebook page,
I had to space it so the important stuff shows.
You have to click on it, click on the banner, and it will open up the entire picture. Yeah, and that's when you're going to see the Kirkpatrick Lindsay 2022. That's funny.
Yes. So we are running. We are running for a year of doing. That's why we're talking about 2022. So super important.
Did you see the other graffiti hash? Did you see the other stuff she did?
She put a ton of stuff. Talking. Tim's still talking, which is Kaylee's favorite password for most of her accounts. Don't try to break into her bank account, or for that matter, the escrow accounts.
And Dickie Dollars.
Dickie Dollars. I gave her that one. Yes. On the left-hand side, you can see one that says Babsicle. Apparently, somebody over the holiday weekend called her Babsicle, which I love. And we've also decided that her office here in Portsmouth, which is her cube, we're calling it the Babacube.
The Babacube.
Yeah. So yeah. So
what is Tweeny Do?
That's 2022. Yeah. Instead, because it's 2022.
20, not Tweeny.
Yeah. 2022.
2022.
That's our battle cry for the year. This is the year of doing. Everybody knows what they need to do. This is the year of execution. This is the year. You guys, without fail, just so our agents understand, just so you guys all know, obviously tonight at midnight, we shut it down. We're gonna get some closings that come in over the weekend that will have closed out in December. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Kaylee and Tristan will be transmitting to Texas what you guys did in December. We're obviously going to have our final December numbers and then our final year numbers. I trust that you guys are going to land at least 10, if not inside the top 10 for the entire year for the entire company. Because when we talk about the North American numbers and say, because we get rated on profitability, and Gary rates market centers on profitability because we can have a great year and then buy 13 helicopters, right? Or a great month. If you have a great month, if the revenue's huge, if the company dollar is huge, but our expenses are out of whack, then we're not going to be profitable. So Gary wants us to run great businesses, so profitability is how we get rated. And you guys historically have been hovering around 9 and 8 all year long, which is amazing considering the size of our footprint, the size of our company, and everything that we do. And obviously, above and beyond that, when Gary talked to a lot of market centers in the last couple of years, you guys remember right after COVID started, Nathan made a financial change to benefit our agents insofar as the split and the cap. Not everybody on planet Earth did that. So where we're running at 20,000 and an 80-20 split, there's market centers that are still running at their old, whatever their cap was, because your cap is dependent upon your local market and what your average price point is. So we moved from 24 to 20 for solo artist agents, obviously making your team caps 10. And then we moved the split from 70-30 to 80-20. Now, ultimately, to put more money in your pocket immediately, that doesn't change your cap because your cap, that number moved too. And a lot of market centers didn't. They stayed at 70-30, and they kept their old caps. So by nature, they are going to be more profitable by doing less. So you guys are doing more and getting us back to a position we were in before the change, which is an amazing story that has sort of gone untold. So I wanted to bring that up today to remind you guys that you're kicking butt.
Yeah, we call it hashtag no Lamborghinis.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And outside the Keller Williams model, there's some fascinating financial structures that just make no sense for anybody except for the owner. We'll let you figure that one out. Yeah. So in the grand scheme of things, the fact that you guys are probably going to finish 10 or 9 or 8, we'll find out pretty soon. Jeff is going to share that with us at a post-holiday event, which we always do every year when we do awards and stuff like that. It's pretty friggin' amazing what you guys have done in this year. So back to my point, when we talk about number 8, we are talking about North America, but we know North America is more profitable than all the market centers in Europe, not combined, but like what you can automatically put the North American numbers in front of the rest of the globe just based on the numbers that you guys are doing on a regular basis. So you're really by footprint, I mean, boots on the ground, by size, we are the number 8, and that might have changed. We're the number 8 market center by agent count in the whole company, and you guys are fighting for number 9, number 8 on profitability. It's outlandish what you've done. And that's why we're encouraging you to really drill down, because you're thinking, wow, we're kicking ass, and I'm not even trying that hard. Well, what if, there's a question for 2022, what if we actually just turned it up a little bit? What if you leaned into 100 contacts tomorrow? What would it look like? Mm-hmm. You know, because we've got all the tools. You've got the KWCLM training portal. You've got the number 1 market center tech trainer on the planet. To my digital
was there
right,
a vote?
Maybe what's that?
Was there a vote? I don't remember.
There was a vote. I was there. It was me and Westcott. He left because I spelled his name wrong with the lowercase W. He quit. Oh, he's back. He's back. He went out to get the uppercase W. It was in the hallway. But anyway, so there's a lot of tools here. We're just asking you to lean into them for the love of God. There's so much opportunity for you guys. And if you had a great year, I'm commending you. If you had a good year, ask yourself what it would take to be great this year. What change could you make? And it's probably something super small. We always talk about.
I know a change you can make.
What's that?
Make sure in your contracts you're using 2022.
Yes. Yes.
Something happens in 2 weeks.
That's hysterical. Yeah, everybody has to start writing that. Well, if you have a contract that you're writing today, part of your contract might say 2021, but the proposed close date is going to be commitment, all that stuff. Everything. If you write something today, there's still going to be 2021 on it.
Right.
But the rest of it is going to say 2022.
If you have 2021 written all over it and you say, well, everybody assumed, we can't assume, right? Contracts are legal binding documents that need to be correct.
Yes.
So 2022.
Yes. I think it was the great John Duffy a few years ago said, we as agents, we serve our clients until the contract is written, and then together with our clients, we serve the contract.
Yep.
Right. There are no nuances. There is no shades of gray. It's white paper with dark ink.
Well, there's 50.
I had a broker the other day says, I've been a broker 40 years, and you Keller Williams agents, all you guys want to do is hold us to the contract. I went like this. Yeah. Yep. That's we didn't agree on that. That's Gary.
Yeah, Gary just said you're right. Yes. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
You guys are so contractual and litigious. Go on. Yeah.
Go on. Yes.
Tell me more about us. Yeah, and I guess the final reminder, if you're up against it, a code of ethics, which I know that I got my reminder from Lydia at Stratford County Board of Realtors. Hi, Lydia. Happy New Year. I got my reminder this week because I completely blanked, dude. I thought I had it done. I remember standing down in Nathan's office. Nathan was doing his, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I got to do my code of ethics. I'm like, how do you not have that done? I didn't have mine done. And now everybody knows. So now he's going to be like, I'm going to get a text from him. They're like, all right, stupid. So if you're up against it, your board has been sending you emails, which you might have ignored.
Which Tim, another thing too is if you guys are, if you joined the board 4 years ago, 2 years ago, last year, and then you joined a team or you changed your email, you need to go into your portal and change your email. They're emailing the email you gave them.
Yeah.
Right? They're only as smart as what you told them.
It's a great point. Well, and if you're newer, great point, Jason. If you're newer, I remember, God, I can't believe I want to say this out loud in public. If your children are in the room, have them leave the room. So I have MetroCast, right, which is now Atlantic Broadband. But my email, my email from Prodigy.net is still FenwayFan@MetroCast.net. And FenwayFan@MetroCast.net was the email that everybody got when I first started in real estate because I didn't have my KW email yet. Because the Brittany Goodale, it wasn't her yet, but the Brittany Goodale at our office hadn't given me my KW email yet. Right. Yep. So the boards and all, I had to go. I went back in the last few years and finally said, "Oh my God, I'm not looking for stuff there." So now everything's on my tlindsay@kw.com. So I know where it is.
Your COEs, your educational certificates, anything, your real estate with license notifications. That is your personal responsibility.
Yep.
That is not the commission. It's not the Realtor Association. That is your responsibility to make sure that your information is correct with those so that they can notify you. You should be knowing.
I'm still having trouble getting into my CompuServe account.
My Hotmail still works. That's all I know.
Well, I'm going to give you this one. Anybody who has Boomtown or really any online any online lead aggregator, and Alice Kabaki will back me up on this 1,000% because we laugh about this all the time because she gets them quite a bit. If you get an email, and my late father, Richard Lindsay, still had dicklindsay@aol.com.
You've got mail.
Now, the point I'm making is any old, fastidious, grumpy old man, I've got a pop-up over there, but I won't grab it. If they still have an AOL email, they're dead serious.
Yeah.
And they're probably under the delusion that a new email would cost money, and why would they spend that money? So dicklindsay@aol.com, God bless him. When he passed on, I said to Mom, my mom's just like, "What? I don't know what your father had. I don't know where any of our accounts are." I'm like, "I feel like you're going to be okay. Dad's still using his AOL email. I feel like you're going to have enough money, Cheryl. Don't worry about it." Sure enough, when these people email you and they're shopping, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. And they probably have decent money and they want to buy something. They contacted you with their AOL.com email. I mean, that if you see that, you should stop whatever. If you're in the middle of surgery, let the patient die, call the client back. I'm telling you right now.
Can we get rid of the house in Rye that I inherited from my grandpa on Route 1?
Yeah. George Bush at AOL.com. They're selling the compound in Kennebunkport. You should probably take the call. Email them back for sure. But anyway, all right. Well, we want to wish you a happy new year. We want you guys to stay safe. Please, without fail, get somewhere tonight and stay there tonight. It's amateur hour. For our veteran agents, you know what I mean. For our younger agents, please get off the road. Be safe. Hang with your friends. Mm-hmm. And if you are going to get at it tomorrow, if you need any help, you can certainly reach out. If you're looking for Jennifer Vachon tomorrow, she will be somewhere safe. Leave her alone. Call Jason, 603-234-2589. If you need Robert's help, he is booking into the new year, as we all are. You can go to timewithrobert.com. Alana Babineau, the genius behind the new header on Facebook.
Love it.
She is timewithbabs.com, B-A-B-S, timewithbabs.com for Alana Babineau. And if you need my face, it is meetwithcoach.com or 603-834-2856. Thank you for a phenomenal year. We are blessed to work with you guys. We have a phenomenal team, and we're so excited about the opportunity for 2022. So let's get to it. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the other side of the contest. Tuesday morning at 8:30 on this very quick start, we will award the winners for $2,022, $478, or the Bold Scholarship. It's up to you. Have a great day. Bye.